Hello, I'm Bill Connors with aphasiatoolbox.com, and this is our treatment and recovery and practice tip for the June 2016 newsletter. Welcome to Aphasia Toolbox, the home of the affordable online intensive treatment and recovery program. Today I want to talk about sentence patterning and conversational dyads. Sharon Renhack, the editor, asked us to talk about empowerment, and I can't imagine a more empowering thing than to help a person recovering from aphasia be able to engage in a conversational dyad. So often, aphasia robs a person of being able to engage in a conversation. That conversation actually often dies in the lap of the person with aphasia. So what we want to do is be able to have that client engage in a conversational dyad, which is simply two. One person talks, the other person responds. One person asks a question, the other person answers. And the dyads are the building block of normal conversation. So, sentence patterning is an activity we developed years ago and that we've been refining, especially within the context of mindful neuroplastic treatment, which is revolutionizing aphasia recovery. Basically, sentence patterning involves the therapist or the coach asks a question, and the person with aphasia takes the words and the intent in that question in order to mentally assemble and say a sentence. There's a lot of support in the beginning. Help that person be able to do that sentence, to say that sentence in a mindful way, but withdraw that help as soon as possible. So, for example, I might say to the client, "Do you eat?" They're going to pause for 2 seconds, ponder what I said, and say, "I eat." You'd be shocked and surprised, perhaps, how you can get a person, even with a more severe aphasia, begin to let little sentences flow. So we want to get into sort of a rhythm, but nice and easy. Do you eat? I eat. And we know now we want constant eye contact. We want to look at the client looks at us. No darting away and melt away that aphasia stress. So it's a simple subject-verb affirmative. You want to, in the beginning, use one-syllable verbs that are easy, don't have blends in them. So they would be, do you eat? Do you walk? Do you bathe? Of course, you can get into two-syllable verbs and more complicated verbs. I had a client yesterday came in. We went right into 3- and 4-syllable verbs, no problem, but it was very helpful getting that client to learn the basics of turn taking. Okay, we can grow this. We want to go into a canonical sentence. Do you eat meatloaf? I eat meatloaf. So you're going to add an object. And you can begin to even do negatives so that you learn what the client likes and doesn't like as you begin to add, do you eat sushi? I don't eat sushi. And of course, you're mixing up all of the verbs. A third way to grow this is to do either or. Do you like tea or coffee? So you want to put last in the beginning what the client does like, so it's a little easier to hold that in their memory while they assemble a sentence. And then you want to slide that over and embed it in the middle. So if the client likes coffee, you might start with, do you like tea or coffee? But you're going to move that into, do you like coffee or tea? And their answer would be, I like coffee. So you can just continue to grow this a little bit. We can begin to work on pronouns. We know how important pronouns are. We can begin to say things like, does she walk fast? And the answer would be, she walks fast. So you're going from I to other subjective pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. You can start taking that into, does Bob work? And the answer needs to be, he works. So you can have them take your noun and turn it into a referencing pronoun. We can go to subjective, objective, and work with different types of pronouns in that context. So is Bob's car fast? His car is fast. So you can really work with this over a long period of time. And you can take sentence patterning if you're working with any sort of sentence context or grammatical structure or lexical content and use that use sentence patterning to sort of stabilize that. An important thing to do is to thread the conversational dyad throughout treatment. You can, at any moment, you can stop and do a conversational dyad. And most importantly, we train the coach and we train the clients to use sentence patterning in the real world. That's really pretty easy to do because it's a normal process. Honey, do you want some coffee? Yes, I want coffee. Okay? And you can begin to go from, use different verbs like do you like, want, and so on. So, if you'd like more information, if you'd like to refer a client to us, or if you're a person recovering from aphasia and would like some advanced intensive help, contact me at bill@aphasiatoolbox.com. And thank you, Sharon Renhack and your staff, for the wonderful work on these really informative newsletters.